Hello, everyone. Guess what we're doing for a third time? More Sega games!
St. Lucifer, there's more of them?
Yeah, they've been a lot.
Like this one that takes place in the beginning of the 21st century, where, terrorism, all that macho movie madness is always happening.
And something about some sort of gorilla named Harami.
Jesus Christ. And so, the federal government has issued an order to its two special agents, whoever their names are, Bimmy and Jimmy. Their mission is to destroy the enemy facilities by using a new type of bomb. So they're demolition experts in a good game of Crackdown.
Wait, wasn't Crackdown a shooter that, I've seen elsewhere, on Xbox and stuff?
Your eyes are not lying to you, man. There actually was an attempt to reboot the franchise called Crackdown. That's, as far as I'm concerned, Xbox exclusive.
Huh.
And this is pretty much where it all started, as an old Sega Genesis game where you're practically, you're infiltrating this enemy base, just walking around shooting people to high heck, shimming on the walls when need be, because that's actually pretty nifty. And in certain portions of a level, you'll find a red X. Walk over it, and you shall plant a bomb.
Gotcha.
And then what do we use the bombs for? Oh. Okay, so now we have 2 minutes and 37 seconds to leave, or?
To place all the bombs, and of course to leave the area.
Whoa, nice shimmy.
This game does not expect you to waste any bit of your time. Got to make the most of it. And what's not immediately obvious is that I just unleashed a super bomb attack thingy. And now that we placed all the bombs, let's get out of here. By the way, for those that have epilepsy, you might want to turn back.
You know, I'm kind
Let
of...
me get right up to the screen. Okay.
Very on. Anyway, I was about to say, I'm kind of surprised that little screen nuke didn't set off the bombs.
Yeah.
Good point. Ow!
Oh crap. So
Shot in the dead of air.
So I'm also assuming, looking at on the far right, when you're in first player mode, it just shows the different types of characters there are. But I'm assuming this has 2 players split screen.
Yes, it does. Considering the size of both screens, I think that makes perfect sense. Like, you and a bud are practically going all around the map, placing your bombs, and then getting the heck out of there.
Yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, for the for when this game came out, there's actually a pretty intuitive screen design for split screen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, what's not immediately obvious is that let's just say that this game isn't completely properly optimized for the Sega Genesis, or it was running on really small hardware or software space, because this game's actually on constant slowdown. It's a little more easier to notice when there's not barely anything on screen. You're practically moving as quick as lightning.
Gotcha. So it's just trying to render everything at once.
Mm-hmm. I mean, at the end of the day, though, it's not really plotting. It's still plenty playable. It's just that you don't immediately notice that the game's is technically on constant slowdown until those random bits where there's barely any action.
Okay, I'll get up.
It's kind of funny in a way. Ow! I should have seen that coming.
Now, did this system come on anything besides Genesis?
Dead offhand, I don't think it did. But again, we still got the reboot series, which again is on Xbox consoles. And if I'm not mistaken, isn't there a third game on the way?
I think so. All I remember was that apparently the parkour or the movement in Crackdown and Crackdown 2 were pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, from what I've seen, it looks pretty fun. Oh god, the dude had a flamethrower.
Goodness me! I'm trying to think at the time that this came out. I'm trying to
set the time bomb, stupid.
There you go. I'm trying to think at the time this came out. I can't think of any other games that was quite like this besides maybe the original Metal Gear.
Dead offhand? No, I can't think of any. Though then again, this game isn't exactly an outright stealth game. I mean, if they still spot you, it's not like they're gonna send all of the mooks in your general direction. You're mostly defenseless.
Okay.
You still got plenty of artillery on standby.
Yeah.
Again, the super bombs, you got regular shots, and also super shots, which basically can plow through enemies. Unfortunately, they have their own separate ammo.
Gotcha.
So use them sparingly and, preciously.
See? Huh.
Okay, that's not awkward at all. Damn it, Ben.
This top-down perspective also reminds me of Hotline Miami. Hype, what do you have to add on to this situation? Oh, jeez.
What are your thoughts on this totally not inspired by any sort of 80s action flick?
put in the.
I don't really have much of an opinion, honestly.
Okay.
Well, that's fair. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a fun little time waster.
Oh, this also reminds me of a more suspenseful, like actual, like there's actual risk in it. A more like tense version of.
I thought you were about to spell OVA.
Smash TV.
Ow!
Ow!
His final words. Oh, we're back alive again.
Yeah, thankfully you have a certain amount of credits to your name, so just if you need to continue, you're brought back right on the spot.
How did you play these?
I played these through the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive Classics collection for Steam.
Oh.
I mean,
that's right, that did come out.
Mm-hmm. It's been out for a while now, and personally speaking, it's one of the most. It's easily my most preferred way of playing Genesis Classics outside of Fusion or Mednafen.
Okay.
At least this one you can actually pay money for. Oh God!
What the heck?
It's the Screaming Kamikazes! Run!
Whoa, boy!
What the heck? Okay, this is weird. Okay, so if they explode, don't be in the same column or row as them.
Yes, and I think their explosions are like spread shots.
Gotcha.
And with that, we've blown up this part of the facility, and we watch the fruits of our labor.
Look at that explosion, man.
I was gonna say, well, clearly this now means that, like, by default, they can no longer be cool guys.
Ooh.
No, because they did look at their explosions. Anyway, moving on from that explosive title to another, Alien Storm.
Nice.
A game that, honestly, I've barely played much of, but let me just say, if you've played the likes of Golden Axe, you may more or less be right at home here.
Gotcha.
Because I wouldn't be surprised if it was made by the same people. I mean, it's got a similar aesthetic outside of being in modern times where you're dealing with aliens.
Looks like this used to have an art.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, that's totally freaking. That was totally freaking Ripley. That's Ripley. So, is there? So it looks like this used to be an arcade cabinet game, even.
It might have been.
Save the people.
But this is just a version. Save the people from the aliens.
Even though it doesn't look like it. Oh my!
And right off the bat, I just accidentally launched a super bomb. Let me know, this is like the first time I've played the game in like years, because like I mean, this is one of those games like okay. Basically, the whole thing with the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive Classics Collection is that you have the option to actually get them in packs, and I think this one I ended up getting through a pack. So I didn't play much of it, but I mean, for what it's worth, it's a decent brawler, which totally wasn't inspired by aliens.
Ooh.
But yeah, you have a flamethrower, so you punch with the flamethrower.
Mm-hmm. That's your standard weapon.
And what was that
Also,
little whoosh thing she did there?
Yeah, aiming down the ground.
Well, not that. I could have sworn she was like using her free hand to throw something at the aliens, and they caught on fire.
Oh, I think that was just a little bomb that she launched as part of her combo. Oh God!
Oh.
You jumped right into that, bimbo.
That was not the best plan. Save them!
Save my baby!
Even though they didn't look to be in too much danger, they should be. Oh,
They were just provoking them, the little shits.
Doot, 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 doot.
Also,
Like they could very well have eaten them by now.
Oh!
Like that.
Also, the sound of the flamethrower is so like confusing me, making me think that there's something going on in another room because that muffled bass.
And now we go to something I swear to God was ripped from the Terminator 2 arcade game.
Oh boy!
Then again, I wouldn't be surprised if this game came out before that.
Well, I haven't played it, so I'll just take your word on that factoid.
That's fair. It was basically another one of those first-person rail shooter type of games.
Is there a limit to the flamethrower?
From the looks of it, no.
Okay. Easy.
Doesn't use up any energy. Ow.
Yeah, but just real quick, talking about like first-person shooters relating to Sega, if I had a means to record whether if I did or one of you guys did, I honestly would love for us to eventually tackle at least the first House of the Dead.
I wouldn't mind seeing that. I mean, actually, speaking of which, I don't think I've ever even played the first game. Like, I've seen it and seen it before, it's just that I've never had a reliable means of playing it.
I've played the first game quite a few times. Like, I don't think I've ever told this in a video, but I told the guys this. Me and my friend Gage, every time we go to this bowling alley that we go to, they always had like a cabinet for House of the Dead. And we've ever since that day, we've made our mission to eventually beat that, because we've always been able to make it up until the final boss, the Magician, and we would just keep constantly losing because of how damn frustrating that boss is.
Yeah.
He sounds like a cheap motherfucker, and there I go, wasting another super bomb. Ripley, you suck at your job.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as House of the Dead is concerned, I've only played. Actually, I think I played every game but the first game.
Okay.
Will you?
Yeah, the first game just has
Yes,
a
you
bunch
will.
of. Yep. But yeah, when you do check it out, I think there is. I might be wrong. I think there's a Wii port of it, but it's not like a straight
There
port.
isn't.
I think. Oh, missed opportunity. But
You're thinking of House of the Dead 2 and 3.
Okay, so I guess if you ever do get a chance to play the original House of the Dead, I will also warn you that the cheese factor in that game rivals, and in some areas even succeeds, the original Resident Evil.
Oh, it's so fun.
Well, to be fair, if the second game has even worse cheese than Resident Evil, then
If Typing of the Dead, where they have giant battery packs on their backpacks, is any indication of the cheese factor.
oh yeah. Well, to be fair, the original Typing of the Dead is essentially House of the Dead 2 with typing controls, which again is like easily one of the best ways to play that game.
It's so fun. And yeah, so much so that they made a remastered version for it, technically.
Hello.
Did they?
Oh, well, you know what I mean. Like
Supersonic
they had the Typing of the Dead version of that most recent House of the Dead game.
Oh, you mean Overkill?
Yeah,
Yeah.
They basically did that as well as an homage.
I'm kind of surprised they actually went and did that, but never at any point re-released the original Typing of the Dead on Steam. Like, it seems like a perfect fit.
Also, what is with the running of the Ripley right now?
It just
Yeah, I was
is.
about
You're
to
just
say.
it's essentially just a straight up auto running section.
It's going
like,
really
God
fast.
damn, eat your heart out, Sonic.
You know, it's-
Alien Nest.
Oh boy, now they're multiplying. I was about to say, it's funny you mentioned Sonic
I'll
because
be
I was
right
half
back.
tempted to reference something. Oh, okay. I was about to say,
And
and off you
shot
go.
there.
On to our next
So
game.
let's see what's next on our library of Genesis games. Oh, wait a minute.
Ooh,
Hi, we played this
is a
before.
classic.
A classic among classics. This city was once a happy, peaceful place, until one day a powerful secret criminal organization took over. This vicious syndicate soon had control of the government. Wait, what? And even the police force. The city has become a center of violence and crime where no one is safe. Well, sucks to be them, I guess.
Yeah.
Amid this turmoil, a group of determined young police officers have sworn to clean up the city. Among them are Adam Hunter, Axel Stone, and Blaze Fielding. They are willing to risk anything, even their lives, on the streets of rage.
For a second, I knew you changed it, but it almost sounded like you were about to say, risk everything, even their lambs.
Their lands. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pretty sure you've all heard of this game somewhere or another, either through word of mouth or, well, throughout the various re-releases that it's had. Yeah, This is Streets of Rage, the very original.
And often, if it's not Golden Axe, it's usually Streets of Rage that people consider to be probably one of the big Sega beat-em-ups to rival the likes of, say, like Final Fight and whatnot.
Oh yeah, like if no one was talking about Final Fight, they were most likely talking about Streets of Rage. And I mean, for what it's worth, it's a pretty damn good brawler. I mean, a little aged by today's standards, but then again, what do you expect from the genre nowadays anyway? Now, I will admit I'm a little sad I couldn't do this a more preferred way, because, once upon a time I used to have a Sega emulator, well, again, Fusion, which had NetPlay, and, well, actually, I still do, I just don't use it all that often, but, basically, through that, I was able to play a few rounds of Hype, and I think we got as far as round 4 or 5, I want to say?
I believe so, and actually, it's been years since we tried that. I'm trying to remember. Did we try to make that like a lookout or a full commentary? Because I remember us getting like a good ways into the game.
To be honest with you, I don't remember. I think we might have tried doing it as like a commentary or something. But then I know it was some sort of, I think it might have been a desync issue that happened. It might not so much like the game's own fault, but just it was desynced and that just screwed over our attempt of even doing anything within the first place. But that was like so long ago. I actually I don't even remember if that was a recording or if we were just doing it for shits and giggles.
I think it might have been, because I'm trying to remember. Like, this was back when I used to live in the old house, and like I can, even though they were fun, I do remember like some of them bleeding in. Like I do remember one that definitely stuck out to mind. It wasn't us attempting to record it; it was just for craps and chuckles when we were going through like the Super Nintendo version of Trolls in Time, and I actually think we went as far as the second to last level.
I want to say we did.
Because I know we definitely got past like the pirate ship level. I remember that much at least.
Well, that's good. So yeah, like we had our fair share of fun netplay shenanigans, and then hype had to move.
Well, yeah, but that's something that I think people who've seen this series before, people who've seen these videos before are kind of well aware of and pretty much gotten used to at this point. Heck, we've kind of gotten used to it at this point.
Well, we really had no choice. I mean, you guys could have stayed in the old home where you had neighbors aplenty, but apparently your parents hate neighbors.
Well, it's not just that. It's just my go-to excuse for. It's more than just a neighbors thing. I just like to say neighbors just when I don't know what else to blame it on, and plus for some reason I think it's funny to yell out loud. But anyway, on to Streets of Rage here. Like we said, there's 3 different playable characters. As far as like differences, I'm pretty sure like Blaze is the fastest, but is also the weakest. Axel here is kind of like a good middle ground, and Hunter, Hunter, he's pretty much the powerhouse of the gang.
Pretty much. So much of a powerhouse that I guess they had to neuter him for future games because he wasn't even playable in 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Oh boy.
That's a shame, but at the same time, at least we had that muscle-bound wrestler guy and Skate was his name. Basically, his younger brother who fought while on rollerblades.
Oh yeah, that was Skate. I'm trying to remember. I know in one of the games, it was probably 3, but I think in one of the games, one of the playable characters was a devil named Kangaroo.
Yeah, that was 3.
Yeah.
He wasn't playable like right from the get-go. I think you had to unlock him through a special means.
I really should get around to playing like the second and third games. Like the first game's really the only one I've ever really had any experience with, and even then, I don't think I've even really beaten it. I think I got about as far as the third world, but then stopped because either the difficulty was a little bit too much for me, or I just was preoccupied with other things.
That's fair. I mean, if I were just going to say right now, my opinions are pretty much the same as just about everyone else's. You really should give 2 a shot, because that easily is the better game compared to the first game. I'm hard-pressed to say anything about 3. I mean, it essentially plays similarly to 2, it's just that it has a few of its own oddities. Like a very weird art style, and some boss fights here and there that are kind of annoying.
Yeah, I think so. I think 3 is definitely the port. Oh, on to our next game.
And our final game for our look at, Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja Master. So, apparently, I don't know what the whole Shadows thing is about, but it comes with a message. He is stronger than steel and moves faster than a whirlwind. Sometimes he hides in mud. Other times he transforms his shape like an ever-changing cloud. Although his fighting spirit burns like fire, his mind is calm as still water. Violation of the commandments. Oh dear. Should Shinobi fail before completing the mission, he will disappear before dawn and vanish forever. AKA, he's gonna kill him. He's gonna get killed off. Keep this knowledge in your heart and mind. From the secret manual of Oboro Ninjutsu. Okay then. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, out of all the games I'm showing off, this one's actually probably one of my favorites, just because it's a very stellar action platform game where you are a ninja, or excuse me, you are a shinobi, a ninja master, and it's your return into the limelight after God knows how long.
Yeah, like would you say like as far as like how long, like how big was the gap between the third and second game?
To be perfectly honest with you, I couldn't say, because the Shinobi, as far as like the Shinobi games in general, it's kind of weird what to label as like entries in the series. Like I remember, like with the arcade stuff, there was the original Shinobi, there was also Shadow Dancer, which we did show off earlier, and that's a pretty fun one. And then there was also the Revenge of Shinobi, which I guess in a way is kind of a precursor to this game. So I guess that's probably why they call it Shinobi 3. I mean, I assume anyway. But yeah, this is like as far as the Shinobi series is concerned, especially more so the classic ones. I think this one is kind of like the template that Sega usually follows whenever they want to like do like a revival or bring Joe Musashi back for any given thing, like, say, his appearance in Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. So yeah, as Joe Musashi here, well, you are basically, well, you do anything ninjas do best. They can throw kunai, they can well, use their sword whenever in close range, they can double jump, although in this game it's a little finicky. You can wall jump, you can dash like that, and, well, so much more. Oh yeah, you can also do a little dive kick, which is actually a really effective maneuver.
Yeah, I remember that much. Ooh. Hey, yo! Something I'm kind of curious about. Like, I know, like, the shurikens there up top, that goes without saying, like, it depletes the more you throw them, and I think you can refill them. But what's the thing next to it?
That is your special. Basically, if you press a certain button, Joe Musashi will unleash a special attack, which if I'm not mistaken, actually, he has more than one special attack. This one's obviously just like a bolt of lightning, which I do believe gives him invincibility. But there's also all sorts of other stuff, like he can do a little screen nuke by committing seppuku. I know that sounds kind of bastardous in a way, but that's just how I remember it. So yeah,
I was gonna say it sounds a little bit more counterintuitive, like you kill yourself to kill the enemy.
Well, true. Then again, the thing is, Joe can never kill himself by that means. I mean, he can try as much as he wants, but all he just does is release some sort of beam of nitroglycerin, like, all over the place. It's like, what am I, goddamn god or something? It's weird in a way, but then again, like, I only play this game so often.
Anyway, I'm trying to remember, like, I don't know if it was this one or one of the other Shinobi games, but I could have sworn there was one of them where at one point you can actually fight alongside, like, a wolf or something.
That was Shadow Dancer. We already did that one, like, a while back.
Okay, well, I just asked for the sake of, like, catching myself up to speed, because like you said, it has been a while, so I don't really remember, like, a whole lot of the videos that we did. A whole lot of the games, I mean, that we did in that video.
That's fair. Though I guess on the topic of Shinobi, the last we've seen of the series, oddly enough, was on the 3DS, like pretty close to its launch actually. A 2D, pretty awesome, a neat-looking but very hard 2D platformer, which was supposed to be like a reboot of the entire series, but I guess it didn't really do all that well, which is kind of a shame. Though I guess it being hard as balls has something to do with it.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's kind of the unfortunate curse with Sega that we've all kind of begrudgingly come to accept. They can try to bring back as many of their old IPs as they can, but unless they're Sonic, they're not really going to do well in sales.
I guess not. Even though I know a lot of people are going to think that they should just bite the bullet and keep on experimenting, but that's kind of how they got in their own mess in the first place, because they keep all doing all their experimentation with the goddamn blue hedgehog.
Yeah, it's like, it's really hard to understand, like, the whole practice. It's like, I get the mentality of sticking with something that's, like, guaranteed success, because, you know, whether you like it or not, it does make sense in that you stick with the IP that is guaranteed to get you a lot of money, but at the same time, it is at the risk of, you know, neglecting all the other IPs that did help to make your company a success to begin with.
And, damn it, apparently that one special I just used is apparently the only one I have right now, but I'm pretty sure you can unlock more of them the further you progress through the game. And I'm not going to mince words to you guys, this boss kind of drags.
Yeah, it looks like it. Now, as far as, like, the different ninja moves, are you only able to have, like, are they, like, can you unlock them, like, as you, like, progress through the story, or are they, like, power-ups that you can pick up?
To that, I'm not entirely certain of. I want to say they're... Welcome back. Jesus Christ, dude. You were gone for a good chunk of the video.
I'm honestly amazed I still came back after folding laundry and preparing some more dinner downstairs. I'm still surprised. How many games did you show off?
Well, you missed out on Streets of Rage.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm sorry. I just feel like SpongeBob at the end of that freaking... How long was I in there?
Well, old man Van Winkle, well, we're doing Shinobi 3 now. We're actually on the tail end of it, riding on a horse.
Oh, wow, this is actual level. I thought this was a cutscene.
Nope, we're literally riding on a horse, dealing with a whole bunch of rogue Shinobi.
Rogue Shinobi with nitroglycerin for blood.
Exactly.
But yeah, real quick, just to give you a recap, we're
And
going.
boy, they love their kites.
Yeah, but yeah, just to give Logan a recap, we're in the middle of Shinobi 3, and just to bring you up to speed, have you had any experience with the Shinobi series?
Not a single bit. Is it knockoff Ninja Gaiden like I've been told or not?
It's hard. I guess though. I don't know. I kind of like this. I kind of like these games a little more than Ninja Gaiden personally.
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty much it's basically to Sega as like Sonic and it's like it's comparing Ninja Gaiden and Shinobi is like comparing Mario and Sonic.
All right.
If that means anything.
That's fine.
Which I guess makes sense because we're looking at Sega stuff. Right. And even though we're still riding on our horse, we already have our next boss.
Okay.
He was hiding in that kite this whole time.
Must have been a giant kite. But yeah, there he is.
So, actually, it should be said, I probably won't be showing off Revenge of Shinobi anytime soon, even though I do kind of like that one too. You know, maybe I should sooner or later, but I guess I could leave out an interesting fun fact regarding that one. If I remember correctly, one of the bosses in that game, or some of the bosses in that game, are actually, well, in their original release, they were essentially knockoffs of Batman and Spider-Man. But they had to be changed for future revisions for obvious reasons.
Really?
Guess that makes sense.
Yeah, look them up. It's actually rather interesting. But that said, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for our third look through all these classic Sega Genesis / Mega Drive games. I want to do a few more of these in the future, but for now, this is the most I've got. So, stay tuned. And I promise next time everyone will be here throughout the entire video.
No more luncheons for you, young man.
Bye.